wasn't an accident of history, but a deliberate feature of how power operates. What Bonhoeffer uncovered goes far. Most people believe intelligence leads to success, but Bonhoeffer witnessed the opposite in Nazi Germany. The brightest minds were silenced, exiled, or killed, while those who mindlessly followed orders were promoted and celebrated. This wasn't an accident of history, but a deliberate feature of how power operates. What Bonhoeffer uncovered goes far beyond politics. He identified the psychological mechanisms that transform rational individuals into unthinking masses, and more importantly, why those in power actively cultivate this transformation. The implications reach into every aspect of modern life. Workplaces that promote incompetent managers, social media algorithms that amplify the loudest voices rather than the wisest, and educational systems that reward conformity over critical thinking. Those who understand these mechanisms gain a devastating advantage. They can recognize when stupidity is being weaponized against them, protect themselves from collective madness, and navigate a world where thinking clearly becomes a form of rebellion. Each section reveals specific strategies for maintaining intellectual independence in an increasingly stupid way. The systematic transformation of intelligent Germans into a thoughtless mob. Bonhoeffer observed that many Nazis weren't inherently evil or unintelligent. They were ordinary people who had surrendered their capacity for independent thought. Against stupidity, he wrote, "We are defenseless. Neither protests nor the use of force accomplish anything here. Reasons fall on deaf ears." This defensive quality of stupidity created an impenetrable barrier to reason. Bonhoeffer noted that facts that contradict one's prejudgment simply need not be believed. In such moments, the stupid person even becomes critical. And when facts are irrefutable, they are just pushed aside as inconsequential, as incidental. The theologian realized he was witnessing something unprecedented, a society that had made stupidity profitable. Those who asked uncomfortable questions disappeared. Those who blindly followed orders received promotions, social status, and material rewards. The system had created powerful incentives for people to abandon critical thinking. Bonhoeffer's insight went deeper than political analysis. He understood that stupidity is perhaps less a psychological than a sociological problem. Society was actively producing stupid people because stupid people were easier to control. This discovery made him incredibly dangerous to the Nazi regime. A man who could see through the machinery of manufactured stupidity couldn't be allowed to share his insights. Bonhoeffer was executed on April 9, 1945, just weeks before Germany's surrender, but his analysis survived to reveal the terrifying truth about how power operates. When you're being rewarded for not thinking, recognize that your compliance is the real goal. The system wants obedient subjects, not intelligent ones, and understanding this dynamic protects you from becoming another manufactured fool. Why intelligent people become stupid in groups? The most disturbing aspect of Bonhoeffer's theory wasn't that stupid people act stupidly, but that intelligent people become stupid when absorbed into groups. Modern psychology has validated this observation through decades of research on conformity, groupthink, and social proof. Solomon Asch's conformity experiments in the 1950s demonstrated that people will deny the evidence of their own eyes when faced with group pressure. Participants who could easily identify the longer line when alone would choose obviously wrong answers when surrounded by Confederates giving incorrect responses. The mere presence of a unanimous group was enough to override individual perception. Stanley Milgram's obedience studies revealed something even more chilling. Ordinary people would administer what they believed were dangerous electric shocks to strangers simply because an authority figure told them to continue. The participants weren't sadistic. They were following the group's definition of appropriate behavior. Bonhoeffer anticipated these findings by observing the psychological transformation he witnessed in Germany. In conversation with a stupid person, he wrote, "One virtually feels that one is dealing not at all with a person, but with slogans, catchwords, and the like that have taken possession of him." The mechanism is surprisingly simple. Psychological safety. Everyone is doing something no individual feels. This diffusion of responsibility allows people to participate in actions they would never consider alone. Groups also offer identity and belonging, powerful human needs that override rational analysis. The desire to remain part of the group becomes stronger than the desire to be right. People begin filtering information not for accuracy, but for group compatibility. Social media has weaponized these tendencies on an unprecedented scale. Algorithms create echo chambers that simulate group consensus while actually isolating individuals. People mistake the appearance of widespread agreement